Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the parrot. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot. Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the parrot. Parrot TV.
Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. Become a winner with other authors at World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Give us a shot. We will surely finish you. Hello, welcome to World Inkers Network, sponsored by Parrot TV. I'm Dustin Pickering, your noble and honest host. And today we have Rupali Sani, who is a poet, activist, writer, and wanderer who prefers to ramble in the world of her imagination. Alone but never lonely, Rupali calls herself God's favorite. She is fond of tapping her feet with the story in mind and a random choreographer. When she is not weaving the subtleties of the human heart through her poignant tales, she is an assistant professor and a passionate teacher who loves to teach learning through questioning. Her work has been featured in various journals and anthologies. Thanks for joining us today, Rupali. How are you doing?
I'm good, Dustin. Thank you for having me here.
Well, it's wonderful to have you on the show. So tell us a little bit about your new short story collection, Shots. When did you decide you wanted to put a book together, and why?
Shorts, Salad Slant, as you have told, I think it is a collection of 25 shorts, and it actually came to me, and I started writing in March actually. This March 2022, but it's not the thing which came to me in this year only. It was actually going on in my mind. It was bubbling up. Something was bubbling up, and as you, I think you might know that this book is about something which is happening in our surroundings. It is related to day-to-day life. So this was these. I would say I have recollected, or I have compiled all those issues and my observations which I was watching in my surroundings, and they are so normal, though they are so the people tend to take them so normal, but actually they are issues, and I always wanted to address them, but I was not finding the best way to address them or to convey them. Then it happened to me that I found interest in story writing, and it really happened that there's something that was bubbling up. It was really burning inside me, something, and it came in the form of story, and now it's in front of you, the collection of shorts.
Excellent. So it's sort of something that was brewing within you, and you decided you put it to action.
And I would like to add here that it really have a cathartic effect on me. I was really an angry young woman, I used to be. So now I'm really mellowed out after writing these all things which were burning inside me. But it's not that it is something like related to me only, what I am thinking. It is just not the book which is like my feelings, and yes, it is definitely what I think or about my observations, but it is really the subjects which every individual feel, but always find a voice that how to address them. They are so saved into the society that the people tend to take them very normal way. That it's very normal, it's a part of custom, but on the name of custom, an individual is getting suppressed. So that's the thing that I hope that every individual who feels that they should live a life, not just pass this life, they all will feel resonated with it, because it's really addressing the human, not only particular gender or any particular like cult or region. It is related to humanity overall.
So, what sort of topics that you were angry concerning? How did they translate into the story? How did they work their way into your fiction?
There are so many topics which I have tried to touch upon, and they are very normal, very day-to-day happenings. Like there is a story which is related to the using expletives on the coast or on the expense of female genitals. So
Mm-hmm.
that is so normal in society, but it is really painful. That how can you make fun out of the female female body? And
Mm-hmm.
there are some stories which are very like at a subtle level. Uh, there is a story. There are some relationships on stories which are on relationships in which change happens on account of when one of the partner have some professional changes in his or her life, and there is a story in which characters are struggling with the expectations of society.
Mm-hmm.
And in it, there is a character named Kyra. She is saying that are we for society? She is questioning the society, that are we for society or society is for us. They are really in a painful condition, and that is due to the expectations they have to fulfill because society demands. There is a concept like social acceptance, that
Mm-hmm.
we always face encounter such things, that we need to be acceptable in society or fulfill all the social standards, and that happens. And this pressure, what does with an individual, this and due to this social pressure, there are so many people, so many individuals who goes who enters into marriage with this mentality that we need to fulfill the societal all the societal conditions. They I'm not saying marriage is not a good institution, but they are not aware about the institution. Rather, this there is a concept that we need to fulfill all the conditions, we need to tick all the check box. But I am trying to address what I am trying to address overall in this my collection, that you need to at first be aware about yourself, and then you should take decision, either it is marriage or any relationship or any job or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, would you
So
say that sort of some of the central themes of the stories would be sort of the individual or the unit of
yes.
society struggling with the broader context that they are faced with in the social environment?
Yeah, that is this conflict between social environment, because social environment should be such which should give a we should nourish a progressive individual, not suppress.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what society has become, what have I have observed, but it should not be. And the problem is that there are very few people who are addressing these things. Like there are two stories who are on man.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the stories, like 16 or 17, are on female issues, mm,
Mm-hmm.
like female problems, women issues. There
Mm-hmm.
are two stories, and I could write only two for the man, and this is why, because when I was writing, then I was facing this this obstacle or challenge was in front of me, that how should I write this man problem so that people should relate, people should really feel, why, because people, it's very rare or it's very difficult to feel or to empathize with the problem of man. And I have observed that it is people empathize with the female problem because we are addressing. I'm not saying, I'm not undermining that women problems are not problems. They are, and that's why we are struggling from so long time. But nowadays, what is happening, that reverse sexism is happening, and people are very not very like interested, or interest, if they are interested, then too it is very difficult to make them feel in the way they feel for women problem. That's why I could write only two stories which are on really there is a reverse sexism or man too, but there are only two stories which I could write, so to make my readers feel empathize with the man problems.
So how is the collection, your collection shots? How is it selling? Is it doing well? Are you pleased with the reception of the book so far?
Yeah, reception of the book actually, as it was released, and there are few people who ever have read it. They are really saying their first comment is that you are so much brave, that you have addressed these problems. It's your brave, because in Indian context we still feel very much lack of such type of addressing such type of topic. So this was the comment, and there are many persons who are saying that it's outrageous but familiar. Again, that what I wanted when I was writing it, what was in my mind, that people should feel like that. And yes, I am succeeded, I would say, to some extent, to that level, because still reviews are coming, reviews are on the way, as my readers are saying that let us complete the book. But whoever have completed, they are saying it's really relatable, we can relate to it, but it's outrageous. It's not in that way, that that fire we can feel while reading it. So I'm happy with that, and really I'm mellowed out. I'm really a little calm person now. Earlier I was really this writing happened to me in a short story. Actually, I'm more of a poet. I'm more comfortable in writing poetry, and it was story writing came to me when I feel. I'm not saying that poetry has not that much impact, but it really needs a very sensible reader. The sensibility should be at a good level, then only reader can uh, like connect with what you are saying. But in the story, I think most of the readers can get can get connected. So, and uh, I don't know what happened. I also never thought that I would end up writing stories, but I did it, and now I have a satisfaction at that I did it at the best of my capacities. Really, I like my stories till now. After publication, I read them again and again.
Wonderful. So you spoke a little bit earlier about how cathartic the writing of the stories were. So can you elaborate a little bit on that? You obviously you kind of you see these issues in society that people just take for granted as normal, and you're writing
Yes.
about you portraying them as sort of outrageous, and why should this happen? Why should this continue to be a normal thing? So how did that help purge you of those frustrations?
It helped me a lot, as I'm saying that, because while writing also I cried a lot. And I was feeling good that if I am crying, then my readers would for sure they could connect, because I'm literally crying. And there are some comic scenes too. There is a humor too. It's not totally very tragic. I have attempted to put the flavor of humor as well. So uh, it was like whatever were the things which were bubbling up in my mind and heart, and there was always something in my mind that why I want to do in this regard, like 25 stories, and 25 I would say context. These are the context. I always wanted to do something substantial in that, and I was doing in the form of activist. I was doing in the form of sometimes I used to counsel the victims or whoever I met, but I was not having that satisfaction which I have received, I have got now, because now this is there, that I have compiled all the context in one form, and in the best way I have uh, whatever best way, the possible way, I have addressed them. So really it is a very contented feeling, and now I can think about more, like I can go forward, but I was stuck somewhere. From the last 4 or 5 years, I was just continuously thinking about it. I was solving at my personal level, but it was not that reach. It was not that maximum reach. So now with this book, I can reach the maximum people, and I have done my part. So this is what the satisfactory element I have now. I'm carrying it with me.
That's wonderful. It's good to get your emotions out there and your thoughts and put them into a context that interests people and gets people thinking about things that are also complicating your life or your observations you've had. So tell us a little bit about the tagline. It says, "If it happens, I'm only writing." What does that mean to you?
Yes. Actually, this tagline came to me when I was dealing with some controversial topics. I will say again that when we address these issues, people say, don't speak about it. It's
Mm.
not, it should not be talked in our society. It's not a part of good society, but it is happening. It is happening in front of your eyes, around you. Either you're glossing over, we tend to gloss over the fact, those things on the name of, sometimes on the name of custom, or sometimes as a practice which
Mhm.
we do daily. So this tagline occurred to me when I was dealing with some controversial topics. So I was thinking that how would I convey my, like how would I convey the gist of my this compilation to the people.
Mhm.
So uh, there were two three stories which could be, which could have people can feel annoyed, like why have you written like this, is it going on, is it a part of society. So that's why this tagline just came upon me that yes, it is happening, and if it is happening, then I am just writing. If it is happening really, then at first address those people who are doing it. Well, I'm not fearful that people will say to me this and that. I'm ready to face, I'm ready to encounter, because there is a truth. That is why tell it slant. It is a like part of the like it is a phrase from the poetry. If you like tell the truth, but tell it slant. So this was what in my mind while writing this tagline.
So you're basically telling people that if you're reading this and it bothers you, then this is something that is really taking place in society. You should be more
Yes,
concerned. It's sort of like
yeah,
a
it
pointing out
happens.
hypocrisy there. Yeah, that's excellent.
Yes,
I love how art can address social problems and especially unveil some of these hypocrisies and double standards that are, embedded in a lot of human nature. How do you feel about art as a form of pursuing justice and trying to remedy some of these problems in society?
you're asking about justice. How can these stories can do justice with the people who are
How do you
have
feel
notes?
about art in general as a medium of portraying things and addressing social issues and trying to achieve justice through art? So do you feel that art it can be successful in that, or do you feel that it's something that it just it kind of falls on a dead note, or when someone writes a story or a poem or a piece or does a painting or something that makes people feel recognize that there's problems that are need to be addressed, do you think that it's that's success in the art, or is that a or does it just sort of like put something in front of people and then they don't really do anything, or the problems continue and then art just continues to just sort of unveil it but not really necessarily actually actively do
Yes,
anything?
actually, I hope so, and hopefully it will do. Because I have ended the story not with any conclusion. I have ended the story with a little like there is something more. Now it's upon you. Like
Mhm.
my stories leave the readers in contemplation.
Right.
It just nudges their conscience. It
Mhm.
like what happened next. So what happened next, you should think if it is going on, then what could happen with the with that person who is exploited on the name of such and such thing. So
Mhm.
I have tried my best. That's why I have opted this flash, this genre flash fiction. It's really I was also not knowing I can write so well. Yeah, I can deal with this genre so well, because when I was writing, I was no, I haven't felt that something I was imposing on myself. I haven't done anything forcefully. It just happened, and automatically and came. So the first thing, as you are saying, that if it will be successful, that the endeavor I have tried to with in my endeavor, if it with this experiment with flash fiction will be successful, then hopefully it will, because the stories are ended at that point where something like, if I say, something is not concluded, so it will tickle, it will nudge the nerves of the mental nerves of the people, that what could happen, or what will happen. It's not that it will leave people unsatisfied, dissatisfied. They will understand that is what flash fiction is, that in a few words you have to tell a complete story. It is almost complete, but it is ending at that point where people, which led people in contemplation, they will be it will make people think. That was what my purpose or motto, but it again, I will say, it happened naturally. And this flash fiction thing, I'm just in love with this. As you know, it is a love child of poetry and short story. So really, to I can say that it is successful, and the one who will read it, he or she will also get something out of it, and it will leave him to think, it will let him think. uh, then whenever he'll encounter the same problem in his surroundings, he will do something, I hope.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a good medium to. I like the you have sort of a plan. That you put together, like a way of addressing the issue, and encouraging people to think a little more deeply on these things, and even maybe go to action against them. We're going to take a brief break. We'll be back with some of Rupali's short fiction. So enjoy this break. Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. Become a winner with other authors at World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Give us a shot. We will surely finish you. Welcome back to World Inkers Network. We have Rupali Sani here with us today, and she would like to read maybe one of her short fictions from her book Shots. Just came out recently, so pick up a copy on Amazon. Do you have would you like to read a piece from the book to share with us?
Yeah, I would like to read, and I'm thinking which one I should read it out. So I would like to read from. Let me make it up. I would like to read from Let It Be. There is a story, Let It Be. Actually, it's again. Well, hopscotch I will read, because Let It Be is not appearing. So there is a story, Hopscotch. I'm reading it out. Moon was rolling up his sleeves to scratch the dusky patches, but the kids of the Basanti area were not in the mood to unroll the hems of their patchy pajamas. Foul. Well, I was in the block, standing akimbo, Michu out. Your chappal was touching the line. Ask anyone. Chinu stated, and the group approved unanimously. No, Michu swayed her hands. You all are cheating. I'm the winner. She kicked the flat stone high and left the hopscotch team. So would you like me to read it more, or is it okay?
Sure. You have a little time. Go ahead.
Can I take more time?
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. With her mutterings, she clambered up her favorite babul tree. It is a babul tree, but she calls it bablu. There she stretched out on one of its full-figured branches and looked at the moon. He was grinning at his victory over the dusk. Dabbing the rough skin of the bough, she prattled, Bablu, keep this in the back of your mind. One day I'll join high society. No dust, no dirt. I'll speak good English, like those convent girls. Good clothes with butterfly pins, and eat all the charts from every. A sudden, the moon in her eyes shook with a soft voice. The accent she was dying to acquire. Her eyes caught the sight of a girl of her age, dressed in a jumpsuit. She was clearly not from their locality. Playing with the fluffy locks of her Johnson's baby hair, the girl parted her pink lips. Hi, how did you do this? I too want to learn. Mitu was struck dumb. Goggling the girl from glittering hair clip to stylish sneakers, her mind was fumbling around some good vocabulary. She wants to make a good impression. Hey, would you teach me? The girl waved. Her ultra clean palm claimed Mitu's high class dreams. Mitu was now ready to spurt a well framed sentence. She twiddled her legs and answered, Yeah, yeah. And she got stuck. Words refused to oblige her highbrow girl. So I think it's enough, or should I continue?
That was good. Excellent. Interesting. How you develop your plots. Is this your first collection of fiction, or your first, attempt at writing fiction?
Yes, it's my first attempt to write fiction. Before that, I have written some dialogues for some performances, and which I have choreographed. So there, I incorporated some dialogues in the beginning, middle, and end. So for that, I wrote on the name of fiction, if you say. But in a particular typical way, if I say in the form of text, in a very formal way, this is my first attempt.
Excellent. You've done a really good job, and I'm really impressed with your way of the story flowing and ending, and the way you conclude your stories. Especially, it's as you discussed earlier, and the way you present it in a way that makes people think on the issue, and then you leave it to them to sort of like reflect on it as it ends, and to kind of be almost in a, would you say,
Thank you.
shock, or a state of like you kind of like the word shots. I mean, that's an interesting way, and obviously that refers to the the shortness of the pieces, but also it could be like almost like a punching, like a shot, like coming at people.
Yeah, exactly. Spot on. Exactly.
Right. So it's an excellent title. I mean, I think you've done a really excellent job with the writing, especially the style, the stylistics, and and everything in there. So I've read quite a few of the stories, and I wrote a blurb and a little review for you. So if anybody's interested, take a look at transcendzeropress.org and look for that. So do you find that you, as a teacher, also you're an educator, do you learn a lot from your students in terms of writing, and and how to do you find situations that you also find puzzling and frustrating that you put in your stories when you're in the process of educating?
Yes. So, Dustin, there are like my every lecture is also my learning. Whenever I teach students, I meet so many young adults. I teach in college, so they have their own issues, and they usually share it to me because I always promote, as you know, question. I say to them that just question and then you learn, because when you question the things, then it will retain in your mind for long time. Until if I spoon feed you, I just like deliver my lecture, the first lecture, like I just give them introduction, then I give them some in the form of a project. They have to do it. So when they bring their project in a very innovative way, and it's really good experience for me, because I learn a lot, because sometimes we don't expect that much from students, but what they do, what their creative aspect, what their creativity can do, we even can't imagine. And this happens with me so so often. And if you talk about issues, then yes, there are young adults, there are girls and boys, it's a co-ed. So and I'm lucky that students rely upon me to share their problems and they share it. And I think they shared it with me because I don't take it in that typical way that, oh, why are you doing it, you did this, they feel that I could be someone, and it's I don't know, they rely upon me, it's God's grace. And yes, I will take some accountability upon me also, because I never judge them. So whenever they share their issues, so that, at that time I come to know their perspective. Sometimes at certain age we think we cannot empathize, or we cannot feel the problem of young adults until we don't come to their level and feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes something happen in wrong also, but we should not judge them. So they share it with me. So in that way, it just broadens my horizons, and I just led to me like thinking like, okay, I haven't thought from this point of view, because yes, as I don't know, it's with me, like being a teacher. I am very disciplined, or when I was student, then also I was so in a fixed frame. There is this fixed track, and I will follow it. So I haven't, if you say, explored the things personally that much, which I have explored through my students.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I was on one track, that yes, this is the track and I have to follow back, because I always do the things with a certain mission, and I will focus on that topic, and I don't see here and there and what is going on in the world. I don't know. A little omnivert I am, a type of omnivert, if you would say.
Mm-hmm.
So the students had helped me this much. Like they just broadened my horizons, because when they share, so I think from their point of view. I place myself in their shoes, and then I think, and really it is a good experience. And I'm so lucky that I'm a teacher, and I have like I can experience so many perspectives.
That is a wonderful blessing, and to be able to be exposed to different kinds of people and to learn from them
Yes.
and to empathize. And so, do you also cover sort of the conflicts between different generations in your stories as well, or is it just you mentioned earlier the gender differences and the conflicts there? Do you also cover other kinds of conflicts in the stories?
Yes, yes. Gender differences, and there is a conflict, as you know, society and individual, power relations between genders, and there is a story which is about the way people feel about public figures, but
Mm-hmm.
in that their feeling for certain people, for a certain whom they like, in like a fan. But in that race, sometimes people ignore the people suffering with the same problem which their
Mm-hmm.
beloved is being suffered. They sometimes gloss over the fact that in their surroundings also there are so many victims and sufferers, and they are not rendering their helping hand to them. So it is really painful. At first, you should improve your locality, your surroundings, and you should go. And I'm not saying that you should not shout out for anyone. If there is a good cause, you should do it, but do start it at first from your home and then society, and then go at any high level. Because when there is more than empathy for that certain public figure, there is a propaganda. We have
Right.
sometimes it happened that people are shouting out for certain public figure. It's not. I most often I don't feel that they are so much uh, attached to the problem of that person who is suffering. They are more attached to their own agendas, and then they are just running the movements and speaking, giving speeches, and strike they are sitting on the strike, then why are the people around them suffering? If they are so much empaths, they who can feel to such an extent that the person whom they haven't met personally, they are feeling so much for him or her that they are on movement for him or her, then why are they ignoring the individual who is not that famous, but he is a human, and he is and the persons are ignoring their locality and they are shouting out for so and so. So this is also an issue I have touched upon, and this hopscotch which I have read, this is about class discrimination, like how in our society both are children. They're being a child. Every child should be given what he or she deserves as a child. His toys, his happiness, beautiful things. Because when we reach a certain age, we automatically leave our temptations towards little things. We think we become so we have some other things to think about. But when we are a child, we are really tempted towards small things. And when there is someone is poor and someone is rich, then how that poor girl feels, how inferior that poor girl feels, that I can't have the pink frock, I can't eat like this girl me too. She is really craving for charts that is just 10 or 20 rupees, and she is really aspiring to become someone who can speak good English, who can have a good accent. So this discrimination really painful. At least it should not be at children should be given the all the opportunities. Then afterwards, man can handle all the problems. So for it, also something should be done at any level.
Right. It's very interesting, the concepts you've developed through these stories, and I definitely recommend people take a look at Shots.
Thank you.
What would you like to say in conclusion of the program to viewers and people watching today?
At first, I would say that please read my book. It is really interesting, and it's not that I have just went out. I have just vented out in this, and you are not going to get something creative. It's really I have done a lot on the creative part, and it's not that I have done forcefully. Thankfully, it came to me. I in a typical way I practiced, but yes, there is a creative in the expression. You will find really it will really quench your thirst for something very creative. I hope so. And there are definitely there are very good context along with good content, so please read it. And Dustin, if you would like to listen, or can I speak something for the beginners who are aspiring writers?
Sure,
Like as I have also like my journey is also very much not so old. I have started just now, like before 2-3 months in this specific genre. Though I write dialogues, I write screenplays at some notes at very big level, but I write them. And I write poetry, but this fiction venture was very much new. So I would like to say for the beginners who really want to write stories, or something is like drumming up in their mind and they want to spill it, but they are not spilling because they are suffering from certain type of imposter syndrome, or sometimes they feel they have a self doubt. So yes, I was also having this note at that level, and for that I just want to thank God that I always feel that whatever I'll do, I will be favored by God's grace. So self doubt was there, but not that much. So that my just what I want to give in a form of advice to the beginners, that is that whatever is going on your mind, just vomit it out. Just take it out on the piece of paper or on screen. Don't think about the quality, that what are we writing, will the people read about it, or how will they say that is it a writer, or how he or she has written. Just spell it out, take it out. And this is what I have done, and now really I'm satisfied on the creative aspect, that in terms of creativity, or not only I have asked from my readers also, and they are also saying that it's quite good, it's not that bad. So just take it out, and in the next like when you are done with your first draft, then in the second your second step should be the editing phase. And editing can be rewriting. You it might be that you think that what a terrible thing I have written. It is a shit. But believe me, it's not a shit. How? Because you have a story now, you have plotted something in that first draft. Now what to work, what is your role now? To refine that story, to work upon, or toil over the story and make your expression more and more appealing and impressive, just that. So if you will not take out what is going on in your mind and heart, you'll never end up with with something written in your hand. And one thing more, whenever something is surging in your mind, just write it, because ideas come out of the blue and vanish also in just one go. That where it goes, and you never feel the same. Sometimes you feel so much. This is what I happened to me, that I was feeling so much with that thing, that it just came out with so force, with such a vigor, that I also don't believe that this I have written. So that thing, that creative, I will say, that muse, or that effect of something upon you, it comes, then just jot it down, and later on you can work upon it in terms of its other things like stylistics. So this is what I would like to say, and this is my experience which I'm sharing with you. So always go with your, I will say, that Wordsworth has said, powerful feelings recollected in tranquility. But when it becomes powerful, it pushes you to write something, just take it out. So this is what I would like to say, Dustin.
Would you like to share any shout outs or thank yous to friends and family supporters, people out there that are watching today? Would you like to say thank you to anybody?
Thank you, Dustin.
Well, thank you as
Thank
well.
you, everybody.
On the program for today. It's wonderful. If you know anybody else who'd like to be on the program, just feel free to suggest us out here. Any colleagues or students or anybody that's wanting to promote their work,
Sure.
Poetry, short stories, whatever it may be. So thank you so much, Rupali, for joining us today.
Thank you, Dustin.
Talking to you.
Thank you.
You've watched World Inkers Network. Subscribe to our
Likewise.
channel. Like, subscribe, and share our content, and tell others about us, and let us know how we're doing. Tell us on our program. You can leave comments during the program, questions for the guest, anything you want to say. You can support us as well financially at paypal.me/nyparrot. That will help us out significantly in continuing this project and getting this continuously tirelessly promoting artists and artistry. And also, if you want to get in touch with me, Dustin Pickering, to be on the program, you can get in touch with me at literarycorner@newyorkparrot.com and send a brief bio, a headshot, and maybe a couple of sample works. It doesn't matter what you're working on. If you're getting ready to get your first book out or any other thing of that nature, just let us know, and we'll get to promoting that for you. And you can sit out and take a look at our new website, worldinkers.com. Take a look at that and look at what we're offering for the public. It'll be a wonderful experiment on your behalf to take a look. And we also have americaopenmarket.com, which is a wonderful site, sort of an eBay type site where you can sell some of your merchandise, your goods, if you want. And we need to have people on there to sell their stuff, and then you get to keep your proceeds. And we want to be sure to make sure that people can make some money at America Open Market, free of charge. So thanks for joining us on the program, Rupali, and I loved hearing you talk and discuss your work. And you guys out there, as listen to her advice and just sit down and write some stories and get to writing. World Inkers Network.
Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the Parrot. Parrot TV.